A speaker at a conference who rose to fame producing mainstream pop and soul music in the late 1980s and early 90s said that he grew up around reggae music and reggae sound systems, and it's from where he borrowed many aspects of his music. Yeah, okay, he listened to reggae music, but he obviously didn't want to work in reggae music, so he did what other producers have done over the years. Take the bits that could sell and package them in a form that the mainstream would appreciate, giving very little credit to the source, which remain invisible. I once took part in a television broadcast on the subject of the white mainstream's appropriation of black music. As with this producer, has to be said, not all of the mainstream appropriation is done by white people. North American black music has been developed along the lines of European or Eurocentric aesthetic for decades, being driven by the desire for mainstream, or if you prefer white, patronage. In addition, black people have fought so long for inclusion into the mainstream of European society in North America that they now share that same European aesthetic. What we call black music in North America is what I would call coloured music. Essentially, European, or if you prefer white music, tinted with a little black, or black music heavily tinted with white. Now, this isn't about organic growth or sharing as we talk with cultures develop, but about doing what is seen as being necessary in order to be accepted. European dominance of all that we do. Artists from the Caribbean, USA's next door neighbour, trying to break into North America, undergo indoctrination, changing their accent, their appearance, and their music in order to fit the values of the Eurocentric mainstream. The majority of North American music is built around melody and harmony. There is little or often no rhythm. What rhythm that does exist is placed behind the melodies. Hip-hop is possibly about as hardcore as black music gets in North America. However, it's said that hip-hop's main audience is middle-class white Americans. I once went head-to-head with a leading member of the hip-hop community in the UK in a radio broadcast, questioning whether or not hip-hop is the modern-day equivalent of the black-faced minstrels, that is, exploiting the qualities of black people that white people savour in order to sell their product. The godfather of hip-hop, Kool Herc, was born in Jamaica, where he learned what he brought to the US that later became hip-hop. Other early hip-hop stars either originated in the Caribbean or were of Caribbean parentage. The significance of this is that hip-hop owes its origins to the reggae dancehall scene of the period. However, if you explore hip-hop history, you're more likely to find links to rock and pop with mention of Blondie, Madonna and Aerosmith, or jazz, for example Cab Calloway's Scat-Jive, than the reggae dancehall scene. And when I say reggae dancehall scene, I mean the scene of the period, even though the term dancehall scene wasn't actually coined until later on, just to clarify that. Now, this could almost be a musical version of the film Imitation of Life. That is, the child of a black parent who, because they can pass for white, plays down their heritage, even ignoring their mother. Hip-hop distanced itself from its more African parent, reggae, to work with rock music, to explore Shakespearean verse, to produce hip-hop operas, and to develop hip-hop ballet, called hiplet. I mentioned that North American music lost its sense of rhythm. Hip-hop producers are known to scour the recording studios of Jamaica in order to find rhythms that they can adapt for their more European market. And very little credit, again, is given to the source. As mentioned before, not all of the mainstream appropriation of our culture is done by white people.